right? So when you're looking, so the reason why a lot of men and women are now clashing at dates and stuff like that over who's paying or whatnot is because the political and economic conversation says this is a 50-50 percentages thing, right? So the man says you can't cherry pick, equality. You can't say you want to be equal in the office and then not want to pay the bill on the dinner date. And then women say, yeah, I want to be equal in the office, but nah, you still need to pay for the date. You cannot mesh those conversations together. They are separate. And the reason why they should be kept separate is because of what I've just been explaining. We are attracted intrinsically to different things. So when a man refuses to pay for a date, right, or shows an inability to pay for a date, right, understand, guy, you are losing points. The same way that if a woman is not able to show a guy the necessary respect on the date by, doing things like ordering things that are normal, right? And I say this to girls a lot and they think I'm joking. Do not order from certain sections of the menu, right? Even if you are able to pay for that yourself, don't do it. The reason why is because you don't want to bruise that guy's ego. You want him to feel like, yeah, I covered this date. What was the bill? $5. Damn, this chick is dope. You know why? Because I can be the man in this relationship. Yeah, it's just going to cost me $5, which is a lie, of course, right? It's going to cost a lot more. But you get what I'm saying, right? You allow that thing to be easier to deal with. I was watching this relationship. I think I might put the thing on my YouTube, on my Facebook page. There's this girl, clearly single, right? Who goes on a date with this guy, and she's bubbly and she's fun, and she keeps on saying, "Do you want another? Let's get another tequila. Let's get another tequila. Let's get another tequila." Right? And then the bill comes to 136 pounds. Right? I'm just going to say 1:50. 1:2 in US dollars because I deal with US dollars on a daily basis. So I'm just going to say it was 272. Right? Obviously, that's not the exchange rate, but you get what I'm trying to say. All right, let's just say $200. Right? So the bill comes to $200. First of all, ain't no dude, right, going to be excited about paying $200 for food. What? And then you wonder why guys then expect sex after a date. Because it's like, dude, if I am forking out $200, man, this has got to be worth it. Because company, ain't no such company, bro. Imagine yourself as a consultant. How long does it take to have a dinner date? Like 2 hours? Which consultant has $100 an hour rate? Absolute sheriff. You know what I'm saying? Bearish. Rubbish. Right? So this girl, right, looks at the dude like, you need to pay this. And the guy says, and the guy says, no, we need to split the bill. And then they get into that political, conversation of a political and economic conversation of, hey, if you guys want your gender equality, but you don't want to pay for this. Oh no, it's a man's. When I'm on a date, I expect to be treated like a woman, and I want to be, and it gets very disgusting because number one, you've meshed the conversation. It's dirty because we've all meshed the conversation, and number three, this woman, right, who ran up the bill to $200, right, cannot expect her smile to make that man feel happy. Because the reason why that dude didn't feel happy in that situation is because he didn't have $200 to pay for the date. So now he doesn't feel good. He doesn't feel awesome. He feels stupid. And so naturally, he's no longer attracted to this girl. And on the same side, this girl is not finding him attractive because he can't pay for this date. So it's like, oh, you're a scrub, you're nonsense, you're useless. But you've destroyed the potential to get to know each other simply because you don't understand what is attractive to the opposite sex, right? That girl would have found the guy to be much happier to pay for the date had she ordered a simple drink and a simple meal, and he done the same, and the bill comes to what? 30 pounds? $50? If a dude can't pay $50, you shouldn't be dealing with him. Just saying, right? Obviously not in Zim. I'm just saying, right? But yeah, you get what I'm saying. Like, if you can't handle like a simple bill, then come on, guys. What are we doing here? You know. But these guys have lost the potential because he thinks she's an ugly, gold digger, and she probably thinks he's a broke scrub. Why? Because you don't understand what's attractive, right? So now let's move into this next conversation that I was talking about, the worst way that a man can cheat on a woman. Now, if you guys have heard me speak on this subject of infidelity, you know 100% I don't stand for it. I don't condone it. It's not anything that I am willing to try and understand or any of that stuff. But let's just imagine we're living in an alternate universe, and DJ Dewa on this one has some room to understand infidelity, right? So this is for you to understand that I don't condone it, but in this scenario, I want to be able to explain something, right? The worst way a man can cheat on a woman is by stepping outside of his home and going elsewhere to feel like a man. And what that means is, if that dude is not getting the respect that he deserves, he will go somewhere else to find it, right? And that's the same with the woman, right? The worst way a woman can cheat on a man is by stepping out of her relationship to go elsewhere to feel like a woman, right? In other words, when people break each other's hearts through this vicious and disruptive and dysfunctional behavior, otherwise known as cheating, because they're going elsewhere to be treated the way that they are naturally expected to be treated, that is not a good look. That is not great at all. And the reason why those things happen is because of this continual mismanagement of the gender roles that we were assigned, right? It is not rocket science to be able to understand that these gender roles have worked for years and they will continue to work for years forevermore, because that's just the way we are wired. Society has tried very hard to try and rewire people and has failed, because this wiring does not come from my own personal belief, does not come from science, does not come from data. I believe it comes from God. I believe that when we were created with these needs. And the reason why we are so different, even though society wants to confuse us and say we are so the same, is because when you actually embrace what a man and a woman bring together in a relationship, that is beautiful. Which is why statistically, children that come from households where there has been a man and a woman or two parents have been more successful, more grounded, more level-headed. It's because what those two genders bring together when they are in the household taking care of other little human beings is amazing. Now, when we abandon, the pursuit of that connection by going and doing things that are opposite of those roles, you get this sad phenomenon of someone who might be in a relationship with a person who the world probably thinks, wow, this person is so happy, is so cool, is so dope, right? But he's got a small house in the weirdest places. You always get this question from girls. You get someone who's dating Jennifer Lopez, and then you see he cheated on Jennifer Lopez, and you say, who did he cheat on her with? And you see the person, you're like, what? What? You cheated on J-Lo with that? And what you then realize very quickly is that perhaps maybe that dude wasn't feeling like a man in his own relationship. Yeah, it was J-Lo, right? But bear in mind, J-Lo's been divorced 3 times. Halle Berry twice, Mariah Carey twice. Being pretty is not the only thing you need to be in a relationship. You must be able to help nurture your man's ego. And men have to be able to love and provide that secure feeling for their women. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And what actually happens before you break up, and this is probably something that's going to resonate with a lot of people out there is that you can actually fall into this very common behavioral psychology, into this very common cycle that behavioral psychologists call gender role swapping. And what that means is that the woman moves into the security role and the man moves into the nurturing role. Ladies out there, have you ever been in a relationship with a person who you felt acted more like your son than your actual boyfriend or partner? A guy who you just couldn't respect, It was like as if he was in this continual state of a prolonged teenage phase, like he doesn't take initiative, he doesn't come up with ideas. If he probably earns less than you, you feel like you're the one who's carrying all the weight of the bills, the children. You're the one who has to, pay all the tabs when you go out for dinner. And I have never heard of a woman, regardless of how card-carrying feminist she may be, saying, I feel so great, providing for my family while my husband doesn't do squat. I've never heard that. Never heard that. And I'm sure there are people out there who are like that, but congratulations to all 6 of you. You guys are amazing. And I love you all, right? But you don't ever hear a man saying that, he has a problem having a stay-at-home wife. Nah. You know why? We're cool with it, 3 years of conditioning, we're cool with it. But outside of that, it's because those gender roles will naturally play off that way. That woman will get frustrated and tired of being in a relationship where this guy is nurturing her ego, because women are not attracted to that. Women are not attracted to a guy. I mean, it's not that they don't appreciate a guy who makes them feel like a queen, or makes them feel like they're the head of the house, or makes them feel like they're a champion, like who makes them feel. It's not that they don't want that, but it's not such an inherent need that they will say, like, if I don't get this, I'm going to die, It's one of those, I appreciate it, but you still need to be able to provide, dude. Like, no, I feel great, but no, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? And just the same way that a man who's now fallen into the role where he's having, his ego nurtured. Oh, baby, not his ego nurtured. Where he's having to look at his wife as, the security of the household. He's not going to feel too confident being in that situation. And he's not going to feel, too happy being in his relationship when that happens. And if you've ever been in a relationship where you have gender role swapped, you understand exactly what I'm saying. It's hard. It's hard to stay attracted to a person you don't respect anymore. It's hard. It's hard, and you sometimes fall if you're a strong person, which I am not. You can get out of that situation and be like, nah, Jack, this is not on. This is not on for me. I was watching Married at First Sight South Africa, and there was this one couple which I thought was going to make it through to actual marriage, but the girl broke up with the guy because she's like, dude, I feel like you have no legs and I am the legs in this relationship, and I don't want to be that. I don't want to be carrying you all the time, right? I don't want to have to be teaching you this. I don't want to have to be carrying you and doing all this and, making it's as if I'm raising a man. Like, I don't want that. And that's because a woman is not attracted, right, to a guy who doesn't make her feel secure. She's not attracted to being the provider of security. She doesn't feel attractive being that way. And you can try and fight it. This is why I'm saying F society. You can try and fight it, but that's just the way it is, right? So she broke up. She annulled the marriage because she's like, I'm not going to be in a relationship for the rest of my life where I'm carrying this dude. And this dude was dumbfounded. He didn't understand why he had been left. Because for him, he thought, everything's so happy. My wife is amazing. She does so much for me. I'm so lucky. And yet in her heart, she was like, dude, you are useless. what do you actually do for yourself, you know? But then when you flip that role, if it was a man who had to take care of a wife, buy her this, buy her that, pick up this, pick up that, well, the pick up part is hell to the no, that's never going to happen, right? But like,